everyone, my name is Tina and welcome to my Genshin channel. I'm not sure if you can see, I'm a little bit sick right now. If you can't see, definitely gonna hear my voice. I'm very sorry about that. However, thankfully my medicine has arrived today. Arrived in the form of the drip marketing. Probably one of the most anticipated one, with both Dahlia and Skirk getting one. I wanna go through both of them. I wanna go through how these characters might be used. First of all, starting with my newest boyfriend, Dahlia. Oh my god, I love this character so much. Whenever he first appeared in the Archon quest, I just lost my mind. I've been waiting for him for so long, and let's talk about his kit a little bit later. Spoiler alert, it's not too great. But the character is, ooh, I love him so much. And probably everyone is gonna be having him because he's gonna be on the same banner as Skirk, but later about Skirk. No, it's time for Dahlia. Only Dahlia now. This is what Jean had to say about him. To resolve disputes between citizens, laws, both fair and just, must be laid out. I'm afraid we can't approve of Dahlia? What do you have against him? Dragging disagreeing parties to the tavern to settle affairs via drinking contests. Okay, and I can see. Kinda base though. Without any talk of wrongs done. Thus turning enemies into drinking buddies really solve the problem? Okay, Jean? Actually, kinda? I swear, so many disputes could be solved if opposing people just sit down, drank a little beer, just with a glass of wine. We would be achieving world peace. This guy is Dahlia, the Ode and Oblation. He is the Herald of Barbatos. I would assume Venti is also part of this drinking buddy ring that he is having. He's gonna be a Hydro character, and his constellation is Cantus Coralis, which, as far as I know, is like this Gregorian music, very churchy. Also, I think this is the perfect time to say he is my Pope. I don't care what the news are saying. He is the one that I believe in. And as for more about him, many Monsters believe that Dahlia has the Anemo Archon's favor. I mean, he's literally buddies with him. And that asking him for guidance is a reliable path to answers from Barbatos himself. Those two are very close. Like, okay, wait, let me check something. AO3. I just want a number. How many? So there are 53 fanfics already written about those two. 20 ways to kiss your god, Herald. I'll be doing some reading after this video. That is why those who desire succor often congregate around the deacon, pouring out their troubled hearts to him. From what we know, also in the company of some alcoholic drinks. However, such behavior has never perplexed Dahlia. If anything, he seems to enjoy it. He is drawn to the disturbances and troubles of the world, like a dandelion seed chasing a bustling breeze. On days when the believers do not come to him, he often goes to them instead. Okay, that's a little threatening, but I mean, he could come here in time. Open invitation, I wouldn't mind it. Leaving the cathedral and strolling through Mondstadt streets to look for trouble he might get involved in. Obligation to spread the good word? Hardly. He does this out of his personal interest. After all, that's how one of the prayers goes. Let the wind lead. And oh my god, Venti eggs Dahlia. That's literally that meme, you know. Here's my boyfriend Venti and here's Venti's boyfriend Dahlia. Now, I love this character. I absolutely loved him in the Archon quest. But as for his kit, I have to bring a little sad news. Unfortunately, it looks like that he's not gonna be that good. I mean, there are some comps when he could be used, but don't expect some meta-changing character. One of the most interesting part is that finally he's like the first real Hydro shielder. And we're gonna talk about this later with Skirk, but freeze comps are super back. Basically, this next patch is only gonna be about Hydro and Cryo characters. And in that sense, he's gonna be having some kind of Hydro application. One of his abilities is gonna be like a little platform, which if people go into, they're like jumping up. So might be used in scenarios when you need to plunge. But again, it's like, it's so nothing. His Hydro application also not gonna be the greatest compared to like most other characters. I'm gonna talk more about the Skirk team comps, but I mean, he technically could be with Skirk. But if you want a really good shielder, there's already Chitlali. If you want a Hydro applicator, there's obviously someone like Yellen, or even the free version of her, Xingqi. So even in that sense, he's not gonna be the greatest. As far as I know, he's also gonna be boosting attack speed. So in that sense, maybe like some vendor comps he could be good in. But there are just so many other characters who are doing it better. So I guess everyone is gonna get him C6 because people just gonna be rolling for Skirk anyways. We're gonna be having him, but for now, I don't really think there's gonna be any character who could like maximize his usage. With that being said, if you wanna pre-farm for him, his Ascension is gonna be using the secret source thingy, this thing that Escafia also uses. And I'm gonna mention that a little bit later as well, but Escafia is basically gonna be a must if you wanna also have Skirk. So you're probably already kind of farming this. So just keep farming it, and you're also gonna have Dahlia up to level 90. And as for the skills, you wanna pre-farm the Philosophies of Ballad, as well as the Eroded Scale Feather, the Primordial thingy that that we've seen in the Archon quest, that we fought with Mavoika that weekly. You wanna get those for him. Unfortunately, feels really underwhelming. Again, like if you really want to use him, maybe you can do with Skirk, but like you're not gonna get most out of Skirk if you do so. Now let's move on to Skirk. Freeze comps are super incredibly back, and that is because of this girl Skirk. The stars fade to black. So here's what I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Vezreferniri in Japanese. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. The visionary, one of the sinners, and also what Surtrotsi, the owner of the little pet, the all-devouring normal. So those two guys, those two sinners, they said, sin infests the firmament. Once again, mentions of the firmament, that is like this theory, which is, I guess, like not even a theory anymore. It's like almost confirmed that Genshin is in a firmament, like a little bulb. That's why there is a fake sky, something celestial and hide from us. But yeah, we are in a firmament. That's kind of known at this point. And sin infests this firmament. Calamity unfurls across the universe. You are free, and none now may proscribe you. Yet your destiny remains bound to that of this world. Indeed, you shall stand your discipline here in the near future. I would assume that's what the visionary said to the Fall, since obviously Fall's discipline is Skirk herself. Me, a student? Such misfortune. For them, I mean, whenever they show up. I guess like this is before the Fall like kind of took in Skirk. Also, her story quest is probably gonna be pretty big, right? There were like so many talks about like, oh, is she gonna be the new element? Like her whole style looked like the Quantum, which is in other Hoyo games. So people were like, oh my god, new element and everything. And it turns out there's a bit of a change here. And this is where kind of a controversy coming in here. Because if you remember the Archon quest, Skirk being there, I absolutely loved her design. It looked very different from anything else before. Looked kind of like Downslave. That's also why a lot of people speculated it might be like a new element. But when her drip marketing came out, Skirk, the Void Star, Sinner's Pupil, Fool's Master, she has a completely different outfit. Which is, I'm not sure how that's possible. People were like, wait a second, so she's just a cryo. She's just cryo. Her dress totally changed, and it's basically full white. Though, I have to say, I've seen some videos on Bilibili. When you enter this special state that she has, she's gonna be changing clothes. So I'm like kind of happy we see that one as well, but I'm a little disappointed in the default one. It's like, yeah, it's not possible. It's how? And also something fun, if you just look at her pose, that is like exactly the same pose as Lumin has. There's also the fact that like canonically, Lumin is the Abyss princess, and she's also on the Abyss, so could be random. Could be copy-paste, but could be more lore in it. Now what do we know about her? The stars hang above in their night-veiled skies. The Abyss lies beneath in the chronic depths. None can know what lies beyond the depths. Really, like, come on. I just got my C2 English, which is apparently I'm almost close to like a native speaker, but what are these words? English-speaking people, like, have you ever seen these words? Bespangled is like, sounds like spaghetti. Covered or adorned with something that glitters or sparkles? None can know what lies beyond the bespangled heights, just as none can perceive that which dwells in the lightless depths. I mean, that makes sense. What's above, people don't know. I'm not sure if they mean like even beyond the fake sky or maybe just the fake sky itself. But the same goes for the Abyss, mysterious places. As the ancient Conrian augur once said, venturing out into the universe and down into the abyss are the same, in that both are braving the dark unknown. Like, obviously, the second part kind of makes it like, oh, they're just a metaphor, as in like, they're just unknown, like there's nothing more than that. But if you only look at the first part, the universe and the abyss is the same, as in like, we might be in a firmament, we might be in a little bubble, and around us is the same in the like the universe. In the days after the underground civilization collapsed, upon a patch of unremembered, scorched earth, the one who despised destiny plucked a young girl from the hand of fate. Once she had grown up, she too saved the child, ensnared by provenance. Probably talking about Skirk and Tartaglia. As you know, a little reminder, Tartaglia fell into the abyss, and it was on the Skirk that he was able to train. How good it would be if warmth could be the measure of all things, if all tales could end in joy. Yet the road ahead is uncertain, the sights beyond unknown. Very mysterious. I can guarantee that 5.7 is going to be bringing us some new lore, possibly with the Abyss, possibly with Unslave. I mean, there's going to be Abyssal teams, 100%. There's no way they're going to introduce her without Abyss. And you know who's the master of Abyss? Anytime Abyss is mentioned, Unslave appears. I absolutely wouldn't be surprised if the Unslave quest is coming in 5.7. Together with Skirk, they're probably gonna be meeting each other as well. They may be knowing each other as well. Now we're gonna be finding out more about our sibling, possibly the Fake Sky. There has been more and more mentions of the Fake Sky, even the newest Natlanese region. Whenever you complete the little, I mean, my guy is called Geodude, but like, you know, the little Saurian. When you complete that one, the Fake Sky was mentioned again, how the dragons know about the Fake Sky. There are more and more references, is what I'm saying. So I wouldn't be surprised if something is gonna be coming together now. But now let's talk about Skirk. Freeze is so incredibly back and the freeze comps are here, and because of that, obviously let's talk about her best comps. Her main power is gonna be in the normal attacks. Basically every skill that she has is gonna be like fused into the normal attacks, and to maximize her power, maximize the percentages, you have to only have hydro and cryo characters in your comp. And when I say this, obviously most people are thinking of Escoffier, and that's right, basically Escoffier is gonna be a must with Skirk. So open up your wallet, it's not too late, you have to get Escoffier. Both of their max potential is, in this case, if the team only has Hydro and Cryo characters. And with these two, you also need a Hydro Replicator. Obviously, one of the best ones is probably with the Yellen. You're just gonna keep freezing the enemy forever. And for the last slot, you might be getting Fudina if you want, if you have her. Or if you want maybe a little more shields, then obviously Chitlali is an option. Or maybe even Dahlia, though he's not the best, but I mean, could be used. But also Shenhe, as far as I know, actually, she's gonna make a return soon. Because of her cryo boost, obviously, that's just gonna make Skirk even stronger. So these are the characters you should be looking at. If you want Skirk to be as good as she can, then go ahead and, first of all, build Escoffier. That is your first objective, and whenever Skirk comes out, that's when you can also start building her. But before that, pre-farming. What you should pre-farm for her. The big items for her is her level up being the Ensnaring Gaze, which is dropped by the Tenebrous Papilla, you know, the little transforming boss in a Quahuan Cliff. I can never pronounce these words. You also want to collect Philosophies of Contention, as well as do your weekly bosses with the Game Before the Gate, the very newest weekly boss. As for what's her best artifact, likely gonna be Finale of the Deep Galleries. Since the 4-piece bonuses when an equipped character has 0 elemental energy, the normal attack damage is increased, as well as elemental burst damage is also increased. And I mean, I haven't talked about this, but Skirk basically is gonna have this similar mechanic to Mavuika, which is not gonna be getting elemental energy. You're instead gonna be getting Serpent's Subtly, which is gonna be dropping by enemies. Also, when you enter your special mode called 7 Phase Flash, you also gain some of that. And when you collect these, that's when you can enable your burst. There's also going to be different bursts. One when you just normally enable it, and one while you're in the flash mode. It is a little bit complex, and honestly I don't really want to get into. Maybe later when we have more footage from the creator server in China. For now, what you should know is that she needs cryo and hydro. Because of that, because of these team comp restrictions, the best with her is gonna be Escoffier. But that's about it. That's for the drip marketing. Dahlia, absolutely love his drip. The kit, a little underwhelming if I'm being honest. As for Skirk, kind of the opposite. I really wish they kept this more like quantum abyss void aesthetics with her. Now she's just like a, I don't know how physics work type of girl. But at least her kit is looking really nice. This is like the first really strong OP freeze comp that we're gonna be having. I'm a little sad that she's so incredibly close to Escoffier, because it just means that we have to open up our wallets. But at the same time, this actually should be a very interesting comp. So that's it for today. I'm sorry if my voice was bad. Again, I'm a little sick. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and also subscribe, because in the future there might be more videos coming. Once again, whenever we have the first footages from the Chinese creator server, I definitely want to dive deeper into how these comps work. This is more of a TLDR and just reacting to probably the drippiest drip marketing so far. I was Tina, this is my Genshin channel, and see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone, bye bye!